What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new animated review for you guys. And I just watched Invincible, Season 3, Episodes 1 through 3, starring Mark. Whatever, Mark. Also, a much older Oliver. And my boy, Cecil the Great. Now, as you know, since I'm doing an episode breakdown, and it's only 1 through 3, there won't be, a first of all in this case. All right. But I will have to talk about catching up from last time to now. So let's get to that. Okay. Invincible, Season 3, 1 through 3. For those who don't know, for those not aware, let's get real, man. This kind of jumped up on us out of nowhere. A lot of people were not even expecting this to come out already. No one was even thinking about this. Not like that, like we didn't care, but just like me. I saw a post on my Facebook page of them talking about this in a group about Invincible. Like the episode already came out, so I realized an episode already came out. Duh. So I had to go back to my Amazon Prime and go ahead and watch 1 through 3. Of course. Immediately, it just kind of snuck up on me though. So maybe I should penalize myself, right?
Slap yourself very hard in the face, then leave.
I'm penalized. Don't worry, I'll penalize myself. No, but Invincible 3, pretty much 1 through 3, pretty much we're getting off of, Mark getting his ass kicked by Anissa wholeheartedly. Ruthlessly, without one hold back, no mercy. Yeah, we all thought it was going to be another scene that was going to happen, but it had been too early, obviously. And, just a lot of things going on in that last season that left us on a cliffhanger. Nolan gets arrested, so he's hanging with One Eye over there, and they're chilling, and they're going to become friends they didn't know they were in the first place pretty soon. It's what it looks like. So you got that going on too, and now we're jumping back into the game, and they're trying to get Mark back on the right path, because now that he's the man, he's the only one standing, right? He's in charge now.
He's in
the
charge.
Dad, he's somewhere else. Dad messed all that up. He messed all that up. So now it's all up to Mark, right? And so we're going to see where this goes. I don't want to say too much, because that's the whole point of an episode breakdown. Okay, let's get into that first episode. You're not laughing now.
See, you're not laughing.
Yes. First thing I noticed, Mark's getting a lot stronger. They got him lifting everything in that first episode. He's lifting icebergs. He's lifting this big ass, whatever you call it, kind of machine. If you saw this in a gym, you'd get out the gym, right? You'd stop going to the gym. You'd be so intimidated by this. If you saw this at the gym when you walk in, this is ridiculous. This machine is crazy. But Mark is lifting it. He's pushing it. He's pushing that machine. So he's a lot stronger this season. It looks like he is. It looks like he's a lot stronger. You would think that, right? He's a lot stronger. So I want to see just how strong Mark can get if he's doing all this amazing crap already. First episode. No bulling around. No playing around, right? The first clip you see is this dude lifting something. The big kid from the other season, the one that's really like a big giant kid in real life, or not in real life. You know what I'm talking about. He's actually like a 12-year-old or 8-year-old, but he looks like a big ogre. Yeah, he lifted him all the way up off the ground. He was under him, then he lifted him up, and we can see daylight now. So that's the first thing you see. So that's already impressive. Mad impressive. Okay. Another thing with this episode, what's going on with Rex and Ray? Now, has anybody noticed this? They're really cool. They got really cool all of a sudden. I don't think I saw that kind of connection in the other seasons. Not before they got into a whole snake family fight and they almost got deleted. So now I guess they feel this kind of bond and they're really close. And so I've read up on a lot of the comic, and then I have some actual books at home that I'm also reading up through that. But I don't think, first of all, Shrinking Ray is not a chick in the comics. It's a dude. So this definitely does not happen in the comics. Not the closest that they have. Not how close they are. Right? So I'm wondering what's going to become of their little situation. It looks interesting. Right on Valentine's month, huh? This is very, very intriguing if they go a little further with this, because we know how Rex is. Now, is he truly a changed man? I don't really care. It's just going to be, it'll still be a good laugh or some good entertainment. Last thing I want to talk about with this episode. Doc Seismic is back. Okay, and it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. You knew he was bubbling something up on the last season. Okay, and the weird thing with this, they have monitors on his cell in prison, and he's on the ground doing some kind of meditation the entire time. And they're trying to figure out where all of these earthquakes and these the Richter scale's going crazy and all this other crap, and they're like, no, it can't be him. He's in prison. I was like,
Negro, please.
Now every time you put the camera on this man, he's meditating. You don't think something is going on. You have to be the dumbest CIA or government program ever if you cannot figure that out. I felt bad for their intelligence team. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I caught on. Even I caught on. But anyways, now he's back with a vengeance, and Doc Seismic is easy, man. He's going in. He's not to be played with this time around. He's some serious business. He's got an old team behind him, of giant centipedes and lizards, and he's got the multi-rock men going on with them. They riding for him in the back. So it's over. It's over for him. It's a wrap. But we're gonna see how they handle that. Okay, I'm not gonna say too much more of how all that goes down. Let's get into the second episode. It's called Deal with the Devil.
I have so many names.
Yes. And let's talk about Mark versus Cecil. The versus. Oh, the famous versus. Everybody's talking about this as well. Now, from the last episode, the last scene, little argument pops off, right? After the battle. Not going to say how the battle went, but, let's just say some villains were used to help the fight. Reaniman and Darkwing. That's I'm not saying how the battle went though. But at the same time, of course, Mark had an issue with this. Mark, he jumped in, he did a jump kick on Darkwing, and Darkwing just went rolling while he's still fighting one of the enemies. Okay, he's still fighting, and this is such an unprofessional move from Mark. I am getting irritated with Mark. All right, Mark has a problem with Cecil using villains to help fight the fight, and honestly, I'm on Team Cecil. I'm tired of Mark's whiny ass. All right, he cries about everything, and this is no exception here. All right, so now he has this big issue with what Cecil does. And Cecil's been doing this for a long time. You've known this. You know this. And so him and Cecil start getting into it. He has to fight the reaniman, and that's when Mark finds out there's something planted in his head. Okay, Suicide Squad style. All right, not a bomb necessarily, but like a siren signal type thing. Okay, and so he's definitely pissed about that. But hey, man, hey, look, your dad. Need I say more? Now, Mark's getting mad and he's saying he's not going to do anything to Cecil, but Cecil's like, man, why do you keep coming up to me? Why do you keep running for me? What are you doing? Why do you keep coming at me, man? I don't blame Cecil. He said, you're scaring me. You're scaring the out of me right now. I don't trust you. You might not trust me, but I don't trust you right now. Your dad. Your dad, bro. Your dad. I don't have to say a lot more words than that. And now you acting like him. I don't blame Cecil, bro. Another thing that I have to talk about with this episode. Cecil's backstory was awesome. You knew it was Cecil. The only difference is he had blonde hair and all the hair was still in the front, unlike mine. And it still went to the back. It was no gray. He didn't have the thing yet on the face. Didn't have that going. Right? And he was on a little mission, and something was going on with these two crazed nut jobs, as he calls them, that they were, they had some kind of cult, I guess they were trying to follow. And they kind of beat the crap out of Cecil in that back room. And then they decided to delete themselves with the little gas poison that Cecil was trying to get a hold of. Or confiscate before it ruined people's lives permanently. And unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. And they, kind of coup-de-save themselves. Cecil ran in there to try to close it up. And guess what happened to Cecil? Guess what happened to Cecil? Sad. Very sad. I'm surprised that they were that good to fix him up and save him. Because there's no way. There's no way. In real life, there'd be no Cecil. There'd be no Cecil in real life. Let's get real. Let's get real. So Cecil went through a lot. Cecil went through a lot in that backstory. So much respect for Cecil, man. Out of all three of the organization leaders, from Marvel to DC to this to Image, I got love for Cecil. Cecil's the best one. Cecil is the best one. Not Amanda Waller. And not the other guy with the patch. None of them. No. It's Cecil. Okay? Last thing I have to mention about this episode. There's a clip where they show when Cecil first meets Nolan. Which is crazy because off the back, Cecil knew there was something up with Nolan. He knew there was something up with Nolan already, but you still decided to work with Nolan. You wanted to see what he was up to. Keep some close eyes on this guy. But he says he wants to help. Let's go ahead and let him help.
Oh, hell
But keep a close eye on him, please. That's all he said. So knowing how strong this guy is, and you don't know what he's capable of, you still decided to work with this guy. Now, I know I said I agreed with Cecil's methods, but in this case, that's kind of crazy. But that's Mark's dad. So what is Mark? I guess Mark would agree with that. Well, you see how that ended out. Now, was Cecil ready for that? So don't worry. There's some things I don't agree with, and there's some things I do agree with when it comes to Cecil. But for the most part, anybody over Mark right now, man. Anybody. Let's talk about that third episode. You want a real costume, right?
You look amazing.
I don't know. Feels a little serious.
Yes. And the first thing I need to discuss with this episode is the exact weird ass beginning. It's not too weird. We've seen silent montages happen before, and this was one of those, right? But we have these two characters, Tether Tyrant and Magnitude, whatever. And we've seen them in earlier seasons before already. They work for the metalhead guy or whatever the hell, right? I guess they don't work for him anymore. Now, yeah, a lot of people are trying to figure out what the hell was going on with that whole thing and why was it silent. And then that was just to show you or get you hooked in to what's going on with some completely irrelevant characters in the show, kinda, in a way. And then out of nowhere, they just take you for a left hook with that Oliver kick. That kick that Oliver serves to one of them deliberately just snaps you out of that whole trance of, oh man, look what they're going through. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we get it. But they're still villains. It is what it is. There are other ways to get money. Didn't feel sorry. Now, I'm also trying to wonder or figure out, what is that how they were in the comics? And then you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to say it. Were they that cool? Were they that cool with each other in the comics? Because I've seen some pages with them in it, in the comics itself. And I didn't see any of that going on. And it's whatever, okay, whatever. But are we doing what I think we're doing with these characters? Or did I miss something in the comic? I probably did. It could either be something unnecessarily pushed in, or if it's not that and it really is that in the comics, then okay, that's the original, material. And so if they put it in here, then there's not an issue, right? It's not an issue. That's what's going on in the comic books. But if they did the other thing, come on, man. Another thing I got to talk about with this. The Mauler twins are back. I have been waiting. I didn't think they were going to come back or, anytime soon, actually. But now that they're back for that limited time only, like the McRib, it was awesome. Now, was there banter? Was there back and forth banter as funny as usual? Nah, it was kind of lacking. It was lacking just a little. But I guess now that there's another new clone that had to be recloned, I guess they have to get, used to each other or get to that point where they start getting funny again between those two. But for now, it might not go that far. I hate to put it like that. Given what happened And this is a spoiler review, by the way. I'm sorry I mentioned that a little late, but yeah, that's what's going down. So let's get to that last thing I need to touch up on in this episode 3. Oliver is a problem. You do see what Oliver did to the Mauler twins. Did you see how he handled them? Did you see that? Oh, man. And then he lied to his mom and said it was an accident. He lied to Mark and said it was an accident, just like what Mark said it was an accident with. No, Mark, that was not an accident, Mark. That's the sad thing I noticed also with this. Mark and Oliver both lying for 2 different reasons. Mark is just a con artist. He's a little omni man. But, I mean, Oliver is the omni man. But Mark, he's in denial. He's in denial that his true Viltrumite is coming out. All right? So that was kind of crazy. But Oliver, we got to watch this dude. He's straight to the point. He's ready to get it over with. Now, I agree with him on some things. About the Mauler twins not having family and friends, so them. But nah, man, he's crazy. Oliver's crazy, man. All right. And that concludes for this episode breakdown. Until the next episode 4 comes out. Like, share, you better subscribe.